Well, Donald Trump's second term as the 47th President of the United States is officially underway following his inauguration ceremony earlier this morning.
So what can we read into the Commander-in-Chief's body language on a bitterly cold morning over there in Washington, D.C.? And what are the moments everyone is talking about today and we'll be talking about tomorrow? Let's break them all down with body language and communications expert Dr. Louise Marler. Lovely to see you. Happy New Year, Louise.
Hi, Louise.
Happy New Year.
First to POTUS and the First Lady. What's your take on the interactions between Donald and Melania?
Well, what a beautiful hat. Have you ever seen anybody more gorgeous? And that's Melania's role, is look gorgeous, don't move, don't talk, don't do anything. And that hat came down over her eyes, so you couldn't see her eyes. And he goes in, he knows he's not going to reach her face because of the big hat, so he kisses in, she leans forward. It's all just courtesy, very nice. She does what she's told. And when you saw them earlier walking, he doesn't give her an indication, let's go, look at her, breathe. He just goes. And she follows. She's got to watch. I think she's got a very difficult role.
So strategic hat to keep him away?
Oh, no, I don't think strategic hat. It's strategic hat to look gorgeous.
Yeah, well,
it's a beautiful hat.
What did you make of outgoing President Joe Biden through the proceedings? Very difficult to sit there, as it would have been for Kamala Harris.
Oh, how difficult. Losing with dignity. And he has lost. So how he sat there, he kept a neutral face, he did the job, he shook hands, he did everything that he should do. I mean, he turned up for a start, which Trump didn't do at Biden's inauguration. He turned up, and then during the speeches, when he was basically slandered, he looked at the floor and just looked at the floor and held a neutrality. How difficult would that be? He must have been busting to shake his head, snarl, make an expression. He did nothing. He just maintained a neutrality, and that's very clever.
OK, so compared to his rallies, Trump seemed rather subdued during the inauguration. Has he matured a little bit? Or what are your thoughts on how he handled that?
Well, he's now the most important man in the world.
Yeah.
He's got so much power. Remind me of Henry VIII and all of the trumpets and entrances and everything. And he's indoors now. He's not outdoors. So he doesn't have to yell. He doesn't have to prove everything. He's working to script, so he's reading script. And he's got all the power now. So he just maintains subdued. He said some very controversial things that were all from his perspective, and he has the power to do it, and he doesn't need to have any force behind it.
Let's move on to the Australian Open of tennis. There's been plenty of talking points on and off the court. Take us through how Aussie hopeful Alex de Minaur is carrying himself, maybe compared to, say, Novak Djokovic.
Yeah. Look at Alex. He's the boy next door, isn't he gorgeous? And he told us how he feels the pressure. He feels the pressure of having to do well, and he wants to succeed for the whole of Australia. And he's got a smile on his face, and he's working hard and taking it seriously. Then you've got Djokovic, and Djokovic is, look, he reminds me of one of the evil characters in James Bond. He's tall, he's Slavic, he has all the wards behind him, he stands. And when he does his interview, he leans his head forward, he shields his eyes, and then he does something on court that he also does in interview. He keeps his head still, and then he moves his eyes, and you just see a lot of white. And when you see a lot of white in the eye, that actually says evil. And it's very intimidating.
Well, not evil, but he's obviously trying to portray a strength.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
Perhaps
Yeah.
a better word.
An evil strength.
No,
I know what you mean.
A strength.
I'm going to get you, which is all positive. Tennis, a psychological game.
Yep, and competitive.
Absolutely.
Competitive.
Let's talk Hollywood for a sec. Questions have been raised over the relationship between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Some people saying it's a showmance. It's just being put on. It's being faked for the cameras. What do you reckon?
Well, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors, but certainly there is some truth behind what people are saying, because every time she goes to kiss him, he seems to be distracted in some way. Every time he goes to kiss her, she doesn't seem to realise that he's coming. So there's an incongruence between the two. So you would say maybe there is. It looks a little bit mixed-matched, and it's incongruent. So who knows what's happening, but definitely something.
I can see evil in his eyes.
Ah.
Hey, good to see you.
Thanks.
Lots to get through. Thank you for that, Louise.